One day, an old mechanic told me something I'll never forget. Suspensions don't fail, drivers kill them. What he said stunned me because I've personally kept 3 vehicles running past 500,000 miles on their original suspension components. And today I'm going to reveal the 10 proven habits that made it possible. And trust me, the last ones will blow your mind because they are so simple, yet almost nobody does them. This matters because you're probably doing at least 5 things right now that are silently costing you thousands of dollars. Number 1, stop ignoring your tire pressure. You've probably heard this before and thought, yeah, I check it sometimes. Wrong. Most people check their tire pressure maybe twice a year. Here's what nobody tells you. Underinflated tires create uneven weight distribution that hammers your shock absorbers, struts, and control arms with every single mile. I've seen suspension components completely worn out on cars with only 80,000 miles, simply because the tire pressure was 25 psi when it should have been 35 psi. Check your tire pressure every 2 weeks. It takes 3 minutes and costs nothing. Ignore it, and it will cost you $1,200 in strut replacements. And if you think tire pressure is important, wait until you hear about road hazards. Number 2, learn to read the road ahead. Most drivers focus only on the car directly in front of them. Smart drivers scan 200 feet ahead, looking for potholes, speed bumps, and road debris. Every time you slam into a pothole at full speed, you're sending a massive shock wave through your suspension. I learned this from a truck driver who had 600,000 miles on his original suspension. He told me, "I drive like I'm carrying eggs on my dashboard. Start looking farther ahead, and you'll naturally slow down for obstacles, instead of destroying your suspension." One hard pothole hit can bend a control arm, but avoiding potholes won't help if you're making the mistake in number 3. Number 3, stop overloading your vehicle. How many of us have thrown everything into our cars and thought nothing of it? Every manufacturer lists a maximum payload capacity for a reason. When you exceed that limit, you compress your springs beyond their design specifications and force your shocks to work overtime. I once inspected a minivan that was constantly loaded with construction materials. The rear suspension had sagged 3 inches permanently. The owner needed new shocks every single year. Remove unnecessary weight. And if you haul heavy loads regularly, upgrade to heavy-duty components. Because speaking of weight issues, there's another mistake that's even more destructive. Number 4, respect the speed bumps. This is where people get defensive. I slow down for speed bumps. But do you really? Most people slow down to 15 or 20 miles per hour. The truth is, you should be crawling over speed bumps at 5 miles per hour or less. Every time you hit a speed bump too fast, you're compressing your suspension to its absolute limit. A mechanic I know says, speed bumps are suspension killers disguised as safety devices. Go slow enough that your passengers barely feel them. Your suspension will literally last twice as long. But even if you master speed bumps, there's a hidden problem working against you constantly. Number 5, get alignment checks religiously. Misalignment is the silent suspension destroyer, and mechanics love it because it keeps them in business. When your wheels aren't properly aligned, suspension components fight each other nonstop. That creates premature wear on bushings, ball joints, and tie rods. Get your alignment checked every 12,000 miles or once per year. Most people only get an alignment when their car pulls to one side. By then, the damage is already done. You're not paying $100 for an alignment. You're avoiding $600 in tie rod replacements. Number 6, avoid parking with the wheels turned. This one surprises almost everyone. When you park with your wheels fully turned, especially on a hill, you're putting constant stress on your steering linkage, tie rods, and CV axles. Those parts stay under tension the entire time the car is parked. An engineer once explained this to me perfectly. Suspension components are designed for dynamic loads, not constant static stress. Whenever possible, park with your wheels straight, and on hills, use your parking brake. This habit alone can add years to your suspension system, but parking correctly won't save you from the costly mistake in number 7. Number 7. Replace worn shock absorbers before they completely fail. Here's what the industry doesn't want you to know. By the time your ride feels rough, your shocks have already been damaging other components for months. Worn shocks cause excessive bouncing, which accelerates wear on springs, bushings, and tires. Inspect shocks every 50,000 miles. Replace them every 80,000 to 100,000 miles, regardless of how they feel. Replacing $400 in shocks is far cheaper than replacing $2,000 in secondary damage. I've seen worn shocks destroy spring seats and require complete strut assemblies. And even perfect shocks can't protect you from what's next. Number 8. Wash your undercarriage regularly. Salt, mud, and road grime build up on suspension components and create a corrosive environment. If you live anywhere that uses winter road salt, this is non-negotiable. I wash my undercarriage at least once per month during winter. That's maybe $10 per wash. I've seen original suspension components on 15-year-old vehicles simply because the owners washed underneath, while their neighbors replaced rusted control arms at massive expense. This is the easiest habit on the entire list. But washing means nothing if you drive wrong. Number 9. Drive smoothly and anticipate stops. This is the habit that separates experts from everyone else. Every time you accelerate hard and brake hard, you violently shift weight, compressing and extending your suspension over and over again. The smoothest drivers think 3 moves ahead. They see red lights early and coast. They accelerate progressively. They drive like the car is carrying something fragile. Aggressive driving cuts suspension life in half. Smooth driving can double it. The choice is in your right foot. But even smooth driving won't help if you ignore the final habit. Number 10. Perform visual inspections at every oil change. Most people hand their keys to a quick lube shop and walk away. You need to be different. Every time you change your oil, get under the car with a flashlight. Look for torn boots, cracked bushings, leaking shocks, and loose bolts. This 5-minute inspection saves thousands because problems are caught early. A torn ball joint boot might cost $15 to fix. A failed ball joint costs $300 plus an alignment. Mechanics who keep vehicles running past 500,000 miles inspect constantly and fix small problems immediately. Stop being reactive and start being proactive with your vehicle.